Hello and welcome to Deserve 2020, a virtual conference of Better Tomorrow Today. I am Kareem McMichael and I'm here today with Brandon Earehart, and he's going to be telling us about, who he is, Starland family practice, as well as a little just a bit more about your relationship into dealing with HIV and things like that over the years. So for the people watching, first of all, thank you for being here and a part of this conference.
Thank you.
For the people watching, let them know again who you are and what you do.
My name is Brandon Earehart. I'm a physician assistant at Starland Family Practice, which is a primary care medical office here in Savannah, Georgia, which we started just almost 3 years ago now.
All right, great. And before we kind of get to where you are now and what you do there, how did you get here? When did you know this was the type of work for you?
Uh, I I think I remember being a child always wanting to do something in healthcare. Around age 12, 13, I started volunteering at the local hospital I grew up near in Virginia. My mother worked in the emergency room, and it was around that time she introduced me to a physician assistant student who was rotating through the emergency room. Uh, she had us go out to lunch, and that's when I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do.
All right, so you've been knowing for quite a while that this is something that you want to do. Was that the moment you also became passionate about it as well, or did something else occur where you not only knew like, well, I've known that I want to do this, but now like this is something I'm really passionate about doing?
That's probably when I became passionate enough that I knew that that's what I was going to go to school for.
Okay.
Changed my career path.
All right,
Yeah.
that's cool. And in your career path now, you are at Starland Family Practice.
Mhm.
What makes Starland Family Practice unique?
Starland Family Practice is a primary care medical office, very queer focused, LGBT, community driven. It's something that when I moved down here 9 years ago from New Jersey, realized was greatly lacking in the Savannah area. So that was part of my motivation to start the practice, get it up and running. Um, and it's been great. There's a huge community here in Savannah. We have patients that travel from 2 to 3 hours away to come to get care with us. Also, the advantage of our practice is we do general primary care medicine, but we treat HIV, transgender care, and we can keep a lot of that stuff in office versus needing to refer to a specialist.
Wow. And that's really amazing and good. With dealing with anything medical and certain things, it's kind of important to have that consistency with your patients. And so they'll have that comfortability in knowing, like, I can come here for these different things and not have to always be outsourced because then you can lose people that way.
Correct.
And another thing too, and I can attest, like you said, when I moved here 15 years ago, so there definitely was not anything down here in Savannah like that, and it's probably still hard pressed even in Southeast or Southeast Georgia. So why is it important for a practice like you all's to be here in Savannah or in rural communities?
The Savannah area is pretty open, I think, to the type of practice that we have, especially given SCAD being here in town, the art college. We get a lot of transient students and patients who are in and out of town, some that come from major cities, so they were lacking that transition of care here. Um, and again, not far within an hour, you have a lot of rural communities that are incredibly underserved, and especially LGBT care, trans care, HIV care. That tends to be lacking. So we're trying to make a home base for these patients.
And with talking about HIV care and prevention, why do you believe that that conversation surrounding that is still relevant today?
When I moved down here from New Jersey, there was up in that area not a lot of talk about HIV. PrEP was pretty common in that area. When I moved down here, I didn't realize how much HIV there was in the southeast, and that was kind of the biggest shock to me moving in this area. And then the true lack of HIV prevention medicine that was happening here, which is still lagging behind, I feel, compared to other areas. But we're building on it, and it's just taking some time. But That was one of the big motivations to start the practice.
Okay, so you found a need and decided to continue to help build and serve that need because it was definitely lacking down here. And I think a good point you brought up too, even compared to maybe some other cities or larger areas, and probably in the South, and I was born and raised in Georgia, so the stigma around talking about just sex and sex education, sex health, and certain things, and then even going beyond that to talk about HIV or STDs in general was
Sure.
just kind of like so.
Yes.
So having a space like this for people to come to is certainly amazing and great. And the last thing that I want to ask you, this is based off of the acronym that the conference is centered around, I deserve. And when it's broken down into their phrase to the meaning, it says, I dream, speak, and receive victory. When you hear that, I dream, speak, and receive victory, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
The first thing that really comes to my mind is that I'm actually able to live my dream of helping patients, people in our community, getting them the proper medical care they need, and by being able to live that truth, I'm able to pass on my knowledge and ability to help them live a better life for themselves.
All right, and thank you again, Brandon, for being here with us. I'm sure if you all want more information about Starland Family Practice, tell us what your website is.
www.starlandfp.com.
All right, thank you so much again, and you can find out more information there about them, their practice, what resources they have to offer. So thank you for watching and joining us. You can find more information as well on our conference website. Thank you for watching and being with us today.